You're at a family dinner. Everyone's laughing, talking over each other. And there you are, phone in hand, scrolling like your life depends on it. Your aunt gives you that look. Someone mutters, "Can you put that thing away?" And you feel it, that wave of shame, like you're the broken one. But here's the truth. You're not being rude. Your nervous system is actually begging you to do this. It's regulating an emotional overload that most people don't even experience. While everyone else is having a casual conversation, your brain is running a full scan. Your dad's tight jaw when he mentions work. Your sister's forced laugh. So you grab your phone, not because you don't care. That screen isn't a distraction. It's a release valve, a way to step back from the emotional noise without actually leaving the room. Psychology has a name for this: sensory regulation. And if you've ever been called glued to your screen while secretly drowning in everyone else's energy, this video is going to completely change how you see yourself. Let's talk about what's really happening in your brain when you're around people. Most people experience social situations like background music, easy to tune in and out of. But you're experiencing it like a full concert where every single instrument is cranked to maximum volume. This isn't just a metaphor. This is actual neuroscience. About 20% of people have what psychologists call sensory processing sensitivity. Basically, your nervous system is wired to pick up and process everything with extreme intensity. While someone else just hears a conversation, you're hearing the conversation plus the subtext, the hesitation before they speak, the tiny pause that signals doubt, the shift in breathing that means they're about to change topics. Your mirror neurons, the brain cells that handle empathy, are working overtime. They're not just reflecting what people say, they're absorbing how people feel. Every smile, frown, every tiny flicker of emotion gets downloaded into your system like you're an emotional Wi-Fi router that forgot to set a password. And here's the thing, this isn't broken. This is how you're built. Dr. Susan Whitbourne explains that our brains are basically prediction machines. They're constantly scanning the environment, trying to figure out what's coming next to keep us safe. For you, that scanner is set to ultra-high sensitivity. You're not overthinking the room, you're reading it. You catch patterns other people completely miss. The fake politeness, the tension someone's trying to hide. But all that pattern recognition comes with a price. Your prefrontal cortex, the part handling decision-making and social performance, is working triple overtime just to help you look normal. You're managing your facial expressions, calculating the right responses, monitoring your tone, figuring out when to laugh, when to nod, when to speak. It's completely exhausting. So when you pull out your phone, you're not checking out. You're giving your brain a break from the performance. You're stepping off stage for just a second to catch your breath. That's not weakness, that's survival. Here's where it gets really interesting. Most people think using your phone in social settings means you're avoiding connection. But psychology shows something way more complex. You're not avoiding people, you're managing how close they get. Let me break it down. There's this concept called territorial comfort. Basically, humans need to control their psychological space to feel safe. For most people, that means having their own room or a quiet spot. But for you, that space is internal. Your phone becomes a portable safe zone, a way to create some psychological distance without actually leaving. Think about it. You're still sitting at the table. You're still technically there. But you've built a buffer between your nervous system and the emotional chaos around you. Researchers call this connection without intrusion. Being near people without the pressure to actively engage every second. This is the same reason you might prefer cats over dogs, or why you'd rather watch a movie with someone than have an intense conversation after a draining day. It's not that you hate connection. You just need it on your terms. And your phone gives you that control. But here's the problem. Society has convinced you this makes you rude. You've internalized this idea that being physically present means you have to be emotionally available 24/7. That if you're not making eye contact, nodding enthusiastically, contributing to every single conversation, you're somehow failing. So you feel guilty, broken, like something's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. What you're doing is called strategic visibility. You're choosing when to be on and when to protect your inner world. You're recognizing that your social battery drains way faster than other people's, and you're managing that drain with the tools you have. This isn't antisocial. This is self-preservation. Dr. Lisa M. Hooper's research shows that people with high sensitivity often grew up having to be hyper-aware of everyone's emotional state. Maybe you were that kid who learned to read the room before walking in, the one who could tell if your parent was in a good mood just by their footsteps. That hypervigilance became your default setting. And now, as an adult, your brain is still running that same program, still scanning, still monitoring, still trying to predict and manage the emotional climate wherever you go. Your phone isn't helping you escape that. It's helping you survive it. Not everyone uses their phone in social settings for the same reason. Psychology actually breaks this down into 3 distinct types, each driven by different needs. Let's see which one fits you. Type 1, the sensory downshifter. You pull out your phone to reduce overload. The second a room gets too loud, too bright, or too chaotic, out comes the phone. Your nervous system gets overwhelmed by competing inputs, multiple conversations, background music, silverware clinking, someone's overpowering cologne. Your brain tries to process all of it at once and starts drowning. So you narrow your focus to one thing, your screen. Neuroscience calls this attentional filtering. You're not ignoring people. You're filtering out noise so you don't completely shut down. If this is you, your phone use jumps in crowded restaurants, family gatherings, anywhere the sensory input exceeds what you can handle. Type 2, the performance escapist. You use your phone to escape the exhausting work of social masking. You've been on all day, smiling at work, making small talk, playing the competent, friendly, well-adjusted person. Now you're sitting with people who expect you to keep performing, and you're absolutely drained. Your phone becomes your backstage pass, a way to drop the mask without announcing it. You're not being fake when you engage. You're just rationing energy. Every nod, every laugh, every yeah, totally, drains a tank that's already empty. Psychologists call this emotional labor, the work of managing your emotions to meet social expectations. For highly sensitive people, that labor costs way more. If this is you, phone use spikes after long social stretches, and you probably feel immediate relief the second you unlock your screen. You check your phone to maintain control in unpredictable situations. You're not bored. Your brain needs to know what's happening outside this room. You're scanning news, messages, updates, anything that helps you feel prepared for whatever comes next. This comes from hypervigilance, a survival mechanism that develops when your nervous system learned early that staying safe requires constant awareness. Maybe you grew up where conflict could explode without warning. Maybe you had to stay 2 steps ahead to avoid emotional landmines. Now your brain treats stillness as danger. Sitting quietly at dinner with nothing to monitor feels like dropping your guard. So you check your phone, not for entertainment, but for information, control, reassurance that you're not missing something critical. If this is you, phone use is less about escaping and more about managing the anxiety of not knowing. Whatever type you are, your behavior makes complete sense. Your brain isn't broken, it's adapting. Here's where everything changes. Because the story you've been told, that you're rude, disconnected, addicted to your screen, is completely wrong. What you're actually showing is a form of intelligence most people don't have. Let me introduce you to something. Sensory intelligence. This is recognizing when your nervous system is hitting overload and taking action before you break. It's knowing your limits and respecting them, even when the world screams at you to push through. Most people don't have this. They ignore their body's signals until they snap, burn out, or have a breakdown in a parking lot on a random Tuesday. But you've built an early warning system. Your phone use is self-regulation. You're not weak for needing it. You're smart for recognizing you do. Think about it. If someone with a peanut allergy avoids peanuts, we don't call them antisocial. We call them smart. If someone with migraines dims the lights, we don't shame them for being dramatic. We get that they're managing a real condition. Your sensory sensitivity is no different. You're managing an overwhelmed nervous system, and your phone is one tool in your kit. But here's what makes this a superpower. You notice things others completely miss. While someone scrolls through a conversation on autopilot, you're catching subtext, reading the room's energy, noticing your friend's "I'm fine" doesn't match their body language, or the laughter at the table sounds just a bit too forced. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's depth. You're processing layers of reality most people don't even register. Yeah, that processing is exhausting. Yeah, it requires breaks. But the alternative, forcing yourself to stay present in a way that destroys your system, isn't connection. It's abandoning yourself. Dr. Whitbourne's research shows highly sensitive people experience more distress when expectations don't match reality. Your brain constantly runs simulations predicting social outcomes to keep you safe. In chaotic environments, those simulations multiply. Your phone gives your brain a chance to stop predicting and just exist for a moment. This is why people who love you unconditionally, your dog, your cat, your closest friend who's fine with silence, feel so different from obligatory social events. They don't require prediction. They don't demand performance. They let you exist without the exhausting work of managing their perception of you. Your phone does the same thing in overwhelming moments. It's not replacing connection. It's preserving your capacity for the connections that actually matter. So next time someone tells you to put your phone away, remember, you're not failing at being human. You're succeeding at being you. And that version, the one who steps back when needed, protects their energy, refuses to perform at the cost of their peace, is the one worth keeping. So where does this leave you? You get it now. Your phone use in social settings isn't a character flaw. It's a nervous system response, a regulation tool, a way of honoring your need for control and safety in overwhelming environments. But understanding the why is only half of it. The real question, what do you actually do with this? Consider this. Strategic visibility. This means consciously choosing when to be fully present and when to protect yourself. It's the difference between mindless scrolling out of habit versus intentional regulation. Because you recognize your system needs a break. Start noticing your patterns. When do you reach for your phone? When conversation gets too surface level and your brain craves depth. When someone's energy feels invasive. When you've been on too long and your battery's flashing red. Once you spot your triggers, you can make real choices. Maybe you give yourself permission for a 5-minute phone break during long dinners. Maybe you tell close friends, "Gonna zone out for a bit? My nervous system needs to recharge." Maybe you stop going to events requiring 3 hours of performance and seek out one-on-one hangouts that actually refill your cup. Here's the truth. People who truly see you won't shame you for protecting your peace. They'll respect it. And the ones who don't, they're not your people. Psychologists call this self-concept clarity, knowing who you are and refusing to apologize for it. You're not broken for needing a buffer. You're not antisocial for recognizing large groups drain you faster. You're not rude for choosing your screen over small talk when your brain's already maxed out. You're a highly perceptive person navigating a world not built for your level of sensitivity. Your phone helps you survive that world without losing yourself. So here's my challenge. Comment below and tell me which type you are. Sensory downshifter, performance escapist, hyper-vigilant scanner, or maybe all three depending on the day. Let's build a community of people who get that protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. And if you've been called rude for using your phone around others, know this, you weren't being rude, you were being intelligent. You were listening to your body, doing exactly what your nervous system needed. That's not something to fix, that's something to honor.